And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Well, no change to the breakup map here. Again, the North Slope rivers and creeks, until it warms up due to the cold conditions, they will remain frozen until it warms up. And so no change there. So moving on to hazardous weather. Winter storm warning continues here south of Toolik Lake and the Tuvik and Adigan passes here through the Brooks Range for continued heavy snow. And that warning now remains out until 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. And due to system upgrade, again, satellite imagery is missing today once again. So moving on to the fire danger, we've got low fire danger across for spruce just about everywhere here, except some high fire danger over in the extreme eastern, southeastern part of the area just on the north side of the Alaska Range there, the mountains, and then some areas of medium here over the west and southwest part of the state. So again, moving on to tonight's forecast, low pressure, active low, pulling up in toward the western Gulf of Alaska here, just south of Prince William Sound, keeps up wet across south central Alaska into the Kuskokwim Valley. The heaviest rain and wind here for the eastern North Gulf Coast along the north coast of the Panhandle. We could see gusts as high as 50 miles per hour with gale warnings and lighter amounts of rain and wind down to the south. And then developing low pressure here just east of the border, just east of Eagle there over the Yukon, producing areas of rain and snow south of the Brooks Range with snow in the mountains there up to the North Slope and in some areas even out to the Arctic coast, mainly on the east side there with dry weather to the west. Dry here over the western interior as well, some sunshine or clear skies actually here. Very few clouds here over the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta down into Bristol Bay and drying out over Kodiak Island. Very weak front here stretching across the central Aleutians, some light precipitation there. And for tomorrow that just dissolves with the main portion staying up here, sliding off to the northeast, another trough farther to the southwest, heading in the same direction there, somewhat higher pressure here over the eastern Bering. Keeping it dry with light winds over the Aleutians and into the western interior, dry conditions. Still looking at some snow here for the North Slope into the Brooks Range tomorrow, that winter storm warning continuing. And then showers here over much of the central and eastern interior, especially as this low center tracks up into the southern interior. Showers pretty likely, especially in the afternoon hours here from the Kuskokwim Valley or Western Alaska Range, Denali Park down across northern Cook Inlet into the Kenai Peninsula, Prince William Sound, and a pretty active trough bringing some gusty winds and rain into the Panhandle, the heaviest amounts again in the north, lighter conditions in the south, otherwise mostly sunny here for Kodiak Island. And then for the day on Monday, again more showers, lighter amounts of rain, but still cloudy, cool conditions across southern Alaska here into the northern Panhandle. Drier with a little bit more sunshine possible there over the southern southeast coast, and shower activity up here south of the Brooks Range in the northern or northeast interior. But high pressure over the eastern Brooks Range. You can see the snowfall's ended now with starting to show some clearing up in areas there. So improving conditions up there for the North Slope and Arctic coast, especially into the central Brooks Range area. Nice here with higher pressure. Actually just area between the bigger storm out here to the west and this system moving up. Not really any high pressure, just kind of a lack of storminess, producing some pretty nice conditions there in the west. Wind and rain pushing into the central Aleutians with quite an area of precipitation extending all the way up towards St. Lawrence Island. And for Tuesday, that whole area shifts eastward here, spreading rain in across the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta, at least the western areas there. Nunivak Island up in toward the western Seward Peninsula, just grazing the Kivalina to Cape Lisburne area, maybe Point Lay. Could see some precipitation there, will be pretty light. Otherwise, mostly clear, dry condition here, shifting slowly eastward, but not quite getting on the other side of the Alaska Range yet. That'll probably take till late Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday that this sunnier condition will push in across the central part of the state. Otherwise, numerous or scattered afternoon showers and thunderstorms here on the east side, to a lesser extent down toward the North Gulf Coast, partly to mostly sunny. Light winds for the Panhandle. Lows tonight, they're in the 40s for the southeast coast and mostly In the 30s and 40s here for the interior, 20s for the Brooks Range out to the Arctic coast, lower 30s northern Bering Sea, mid 30s here around the Pribilofs, and then lower 40s for the Aleutians. And the highs tomorrow in the 50s here over much of interior Alaska, I should say 40s and 50s for the highs, the 40s here in the west and the 50s over the central and eastern areas. Copper Center could reach 60 degrees tomorrow, otherwise in the 50s there for the southeast coast. And then the lows following morning, 20s again, the Brooks Range of the Arctic coast with actually now some lower 30s showing up for the lows up there. So seeing some warming finally starting to take place there for Monday morning. Otherwise in the 30s, pretty chilly here for the Tanana Valley. Down into the some areas might see some frost there in the Tanana Valley with that 33-degree forecast for Tanana. And that's probably Haisley there with 30, or maybe an Anana forecast low of 30 degrees. Otherwise 40s here south of the Brooks Range. Lower to mid 30s there for the Kuskokwim Valley. And for the highs, trying to push 60, only 59 though for Metlakatla, or actually Metlakatla 59, that's 55 for, let's see, Ketchikan or Klawock. Otherwise, another day in the 50s for the Panhandle about sums it up. As well as interior Alaska here, highs mostly in the 50s. South of the Brooks Range, north of the mountains there, it looks like finally rising above freezing into the mid to maybe upper 30s. In the North Slope areas, staying in the 40s here for the Bering Sea and the Aleutians.